Our last guest is former SNN host and multimedia journalist Alix Redmonde. Today, Alix is the Director of Media Relations for the Community AIDS Network. That's a huge job.
I am so happy to be here.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it came about just out of the blue because of CANDance.
CANDance, yes, which we're here to talk about. And we'll get to you in a minute, but I know Ben Bovic, who is one of our anchors, is competing this year, okay? You were last year's CANDance champion.
Yes, I was the fundraising champion, and this is bigger than me, so it was quite a feat to actually get it home
and
from
carry
Michael's
it home,
on
right?
East.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you tell us what the event is all about, Alix?
It is very similar to some of the dancing shows that you see on networks, and actually it started way before that. This is CANDance 17. It's been going on for 18 years.
Here in Sarasota?
Here in Sarasota. Actually, Stephen Sieg, who has his own dance studio, was the person that brought it to the table and said, we need to do something to raise awareness for HIV. And he started doing this, and the event just took off, and every year it is a sold-out event, and we have local celebrities that volunteer their time to come and learn dance routines and then perform in front of a whole group of people. But when they come to the table, they need to bring funds with them because it's all about raising funds and awareness of HIV.
And we want to talk about that. Now, what's it like to learn a routine like that? I mean, how challenging and how long do you have?
Well, for me, it was particularly challenging because I'm not a particularly good dancer. I was the type of person that was thrown out of Debbie Reynolds' studios in California and Hollywood by Joe Bennett.
Oh my gosh.
So he said, don't change your career. But it was challenging. You have to know where your feet go. So for me, I had somebody actually record where my feet were going, and I would go home every night and practice because I did it in just a few lessons. I did it in about 12 lessons.
You were fabulous. You won.
Thank you so much. I won the fundraising champion, so I was extremely happy about that.
What tips would you or advice would you have for Ben and the other competitors this year?
I think the most important thing is to let people know that you are indeed having fun because the event is fun and you're doing it for a cause. And when you want to raise awareness of HIV, what you want to do is you want to make it a positive thing filled with hope.
Right.
So he should go out there and enjoy himself and the other competitors as well. And if you know where your feet are going, then you can work on the finesse, like where the hands go. You know, they kept saying to me, don't do this, you know, and don't do jazz hands. You know, do something pretty with your hands. So that's what I would say is put the finishing touches on, because when you're confident, you know where your feet go, then you can do the rest.
Right. And that goes a long way with a lot of things in life, isn't it?
Definitely.
And when you have a passion about something, I mean, they wouldn't be competing if they weren't passionate about that. So I think that's very, very, very important. How is the money raised and where do the funds go in the community?
Great question. The money is raised a couple of different ways. People can sell tables, they can sell individual seats, they can get sponsors to come in, and of course that is all fantastic, and that's where the most fundraising goes when you get people to cut the big checks. But raising awareness and funds, the best way to do that is by getting those $10 checks, those $15, $20 checks, and you have your friends, you explain why you're doing this, where the money's going, and it's all going towards patient care for Community AIDS Network, which is CAN. And each time that you tell somebody the story that HIV is still here, there is no cure right now, and that you let people know that treatment is the best option, and one pill a day can treat a person. It's not how it used to be. It can keep people well for a very long time.
Where can our viewers and our community go to get involved for this very, very, very important?
Well, they can actually vote online for any of these dancers, and you actually have a link at snntv.com. There is a link to CANDance right there, or they may go to our website, which is a little tricky, which is cccSRQ.org.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we close today, Alix?
Absolutely. I would like people to know that HIV is not yet cured, that we really, really need support for people to be aware that we are #1 for HIV. We are the #1 state. We are in the top 3 for HIV overall, and that's pretty sad.
It is.
and that people are being diagnosed from the very young to the very old. We have people in their 90s that have been diagnosed
So we
at our
have to
clinic.
keep it on the forefront.
Get
of minds.
tested
Great.
and get treated. That's the
Awesome.
main thing. And vote for all of your dancers.
Great. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Suncoast FYI. We will return after a short break.